Hey guys, so happy new year. We just finished the last trading day of 2020, and in this video I want to recap the top 10 stocks for 2020, and we're going to break it down also based on specific criteria on how they have moved up for the year, and we're going to take a look at the fundamentals and the technical analysis of those particular stocks as well. So just to give flow to what I want to talk about, this is how I'm gonna go about it. So each of the 10 stocks that I will go through will basically we're gonna talk about the gain and its ranking and what contributed to it. Then we're gonna look at the price action in what I call the tail of the tape, where it started for the year and how it ended. Then some ratios, details about the fundamentals of the stock. Then everyone's favorite, we're gonna talk about the technicals of the stocks that you want me to analyze, or at least the top 10 stocks. And just to give flavor to all of this, also, please do note that this is measured from the start of the year to the last trading day of the year. It's not measured on the lowest point, it's not measured based on when you bought it, or it's not measured on specific movements like the lockdown, movement into GCQ, or tightening of the measures again, or when foreign funds started to come in. It's measured basically from the start of the year to the end of the year, who are the top 10 stocks in the Philippine Stock Exchange that have performed the best in terms of capital appreciation, regardless if you sold it or you are holding on to it. It just shows also that I just want to note this shows that in spite of the fear, in spite of the panic, in spite of the recession, in spite of what people have branded this year as a year of uncertainty, a year that's not bad, a year that's not good, a year that, hey, it's not as good for investors, or it's not as good for the economy as well. But for all of us that are watching this, stock investors, stock traders, money can be made in the market if you just follow your plan, follow your strategy. And at the end, no, I'm going to give a recap also on specific observations that I've found into all of this. So if you guys are excited, comment below, comment I'm excited, comment top 10, and I'll give you 5 seconds right now before we go through it. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Who do you think is the top one? Or do you guys have any idea on who will make it the top 10? Anyways, let's do this. I also want to note that, just a disclaimer also to everyone, that past performance does not guarantee future performance. Meaning, yung ginalaw nila ng 2020, it does not mean that's how it's gonna be for 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. And let me submit this also to you. The fact that they've gone up massively for 2020, it means that they are coming in 2021 at a much higher note. Meaning, a lot of people who bought earlier also may have the context that, hey, I made a lot this 2020. It might be interesting to take some of those profits for 2021. So it does not mean that it did well for 2020. It will translate that it will do well also for 2021. So please just note that whatever it did in the past, it does not mean it will replicate any future performance. Anyways, let's begin. Number 10 is up 150%. That stock is BCB. It started the year at 1.2. It ended at 3, giving it a gain of 150%. And just some parameters here. I'm showing this to those who attended their Stock Smart session. So at least you have a reference point already on specific criteria and ratios that we have discussed. So P is at 6.3, ROE is at 2.77, debt to equity is 11.77, quick ratio is at 0.61, and the stock is not giving any dividends. So the ROE is relatively low, but the company made money, but as of its current movement, its PE wise, benchmarking, it's relatively lower. Now, looking at its technicals, this is its uptrend that moved from July up until November. But as you can see it, no, around November 16, the uptrend was broken and now it's currently consolidating. Probable consolidation range is you have a support at 3, then you have a resistance close to 3.2. That's where we are for BCB. Now let's continue. Number 9, can anyone guess who number 9 is? Number 9 is up 158%. So hindi siya nakakalayo sa number 10. And please do note this, to enter the top 10 stocks in the PSE, you must at least go up 150%. At least for 2020, no, at least from January 1 all the way to the end of the trading day for the year. This stock is 80, started the year 2.5, closed today at 6.46. Percentage gain is 158%. Here are some fundamental parameters. Just wanted to note this that based on the last disclosure of its ROE, it's negative. QR quick ratio is at 0.24, debt equity ratio is at 81.06. The company also did not give dividends. So this is how its uptrend is. So as you can see, no, the breakout from the particular 2.4, 2.5 resistance happened somewhere in July. Then it positioned itself into a massive, massive uptrend. Then putting another uptrend here, you could see that somewhere around November, from November to the end of the year, we saw it start to break that short push uptrend, which moved around from 4 to around 6.8, which is something that's very, very interesting and very, very strong. But the main underlying uptrend from July to where we are right now is still holding. So the July uptrend is still holding. The October to November uptrend is already over. So depending on where you are as a position trader, respect the trend lines that we have right here. Next, number 8. Comment number 8. Number 8 is up 174%. This is BC. Started the year 1.13, closed the year 3.1. Percentage gain is 174%. PE ratio is relatively low also at 6.51. ROE is 2.77. Debt to equity is 11.77. Quick ratio is 0.61, and it did not give dividends as well. So this is its chart. As you can see, from June to somewhere in November, it was moving in an uptrend from 0.7 to around 3.1, 3.2, but it got broken. After it got broken, it's also consolidating right now, which has a support at around the 3 peso level to the 3.4 level. So if you notice it, now some of them have pushed up, had some form of an uptrend, and which is not surprising because for a stock to move up more than at least 100%, there's a degree of an uptrend that got formed also there. But as of now, BC Benguet Corporation is currently consolidating already with the tradable range. Support is at 3, resistance is at 3.4. Number 7, can anyone guess who number 7 is? Put it in the comment section. I can guess number 7 in the stock. It's up 181%. If you notice this, it's Dito. I just want to note this that, of course, Dito had a lot of volatility for those who traded those volatile movements or bought at a much lower price. For sure, of course, you might have earned a higher price. But this is from the start of the year to the end of the year, 3.88 to 10.9, up 181%. Please do note ROE is still negative. Quick ratio is at 1,943. Also, no dividend. So if you're following the team, no, a lot of, at least from where we are right now, a lot of the stocks that we've measured has not really given dividends. This is the chart, and we've been tracking this almost every day naman. So you've noticed that Dito is currently still pushing from the uptrend in April to the uptrend in September to the other upward push that it had in November. So from a position trading standpoint, the uptrend for Dito short, mid, long term is currently holding its ground. Next one, number 6, you have a stock that's up 196%, almost double, almost no, 100% is you putting in 100,000, kumita ka pa na isa pang 100,000. Ngayon, almost 200%. That means yung 100,000 mo, kumita pa ulit isa pang 100,000. So, dalawang 100,000. Anyways, 196%. This is NI 1.02. Finished at 3.02. Your gain is 196. NI Nihao is a mining company. We've had a lot of mining companies already in the list. ROE is also negative. Quick ratio is 4.1. Also, no dividends. This is its current uptrend that started in March because of the breakout from June. Then this is the second second shorter uptrend which started in August. So March uptrend for Nihao still holding, no sell signal yet. July uptrend for Nihao still holding, no sell signal yet as well. Number 5. Give you a few seconds, 5 seconds. Can you guess sino pa yung natitira? Sino pa yung pwedeng makasama dito? We've already had Dito. Now, Dito has been the stock that has a lot of requests in our stocks by request session, but we also have it's not just something that has a lot of requests, but the volume, the value turnover for Dito is very, very strong and massive. Number 5 is up 205%. It's APL 0.042. Finish the year at 0.128. Gain is 205%. This is its fundamentals. ROE is also negative. DE 0.51, quick ratio 0.65. It also has no dividends. And this is how APL looks like. It was considerably sideways from the start of the year to a certain point in December. So bagong galaw lang din talaga siya, no, that nag-break out siya sa particular resistance. But after the break of the resistance, boom, large massive movements upward coming into the end of the year. So that's where APL is. But just to note also, no, from the lowest point in March, it was 0.032 before it broke out at a certain point in December. Nakadoble na siya at 0.64. Whatever increase and gain that we saw for APL at the very least for December happened lang over the past few days. And if you noted, also look at the candlestick here, tumama pa siya ng 0.136 intraday. Anyways, number 4, up 216%. This is MRC, started the year 0.187, ended the year 0.59. Percentage gain is 216%. ROE is also negative. Debt to equity ratio is 12.3. Quick ratio is 0.02. Also no dividends. This is its chart. Broke out from the 0.2728 resistance. After that, we started to see it push. So those who bought at the breakout last October, we're seeing the stock start to push up. And as it's pushing up, the trend line that started from that really hasn't been broken yet. There's really still, up until this trend line, as you can see right here where the cursor is, as long as this is holding its ground, you can possibly see it continue to push higher still. So again, since the breakout last October from the range, which we saw MRC consolidate for almost 10 months, boom, broke out and then started to push higher to the 0.72 level, at least at the closing. No, then we saw it hit around 0.6, 0.59, 0.58, but the upward trend for MRC is still intact. So again, I repeat, MRC, the lowest was around 0.12 when we saw the markets drop earlier this year. Then break out from the 0.28 level, then push higher uptrend. So comment below if you're learning. Comment if this is something that's helping you. Anyways, I'm sure, no, for those who have been following the channel, I think most of you can guess who the number two and number one is. Of course, Dito is not anymore part of it. Can anyone guess who are the top two stocks? Comment below, top two, lagay nyo. I'm just curious if you're really keen on price action, price movement, and how we've seen stocks in the Philippine Stock Exchange move over the past few months. Are you guys ready? Number two is, number three pa lang pala. Okay, number three is up to 124%. I got ahead of myself. Number three is PHA, started 0.34, ended 1.1, gain is 224%. PE ratio 5.95, relatively in the lower end. ROE is 5.12, profitable. DE is quite high at 261. Quick ratio is at 0.48, still no dividends. This is its chart, similar to some of the stocks we discussed. Breakout from a consolidation, then it had a large, massive push. The lowest of PHA is around 0.16 where the support is. The highest we've seen it is 1.2. After the breakout from the 0.44 level, we've seen it pierce and go to the 1.2 level for PHA. Now, last two stocks. Ito na talagang yung pinapahula ko sa inyo na feeling ko mahuhulaan nyo because we've seen it really move up in strides. I'm talking about number two is up 293%. This is AC Energy or ACEN. Started the year at 2.29. As of the close today, it's 9 pesos, gain of 293%. This is its current ratio. ROE is negative. It gave a dividend, no, for the year. So putting a dividend yield based on 9 pesos at 0.44. Quick ratio is 2.64. P is 30.56. This is its uptrend. So AC Energy, boom. The uptrend from September is still holding its ground. The uptrend from November is also holding its ground. So for those following this particular trend line, there's still no reversal signal as of this point in time. For those following this particular trend line, this support level trend line is not also broken. So again, that's what makes it interesting, because when you plot your support lines, when you plot your trend lines, as long as those trend lines are holding, then there's no actual sell signal yet. There's no actual signal to see the stock start to reverse and possibly go down. So there. So from September, the trend line is holding. From November, the trend line is also holding. Anyways, lastly, I'm sure a lot of you got this. A lot of you at the middle of the year were so excited about this when they started to come in. And here's the thing, no, in the midst of a lot of people thinking that it was expensive, um, there were those who were looking at its potential growth, and its growth was what triggered them to position in that particular stock. So looking back at it from the middle of the year to where we are right now, those who had the conviction to come in, looking at it from this perspective, have been greatly rewarded. Now, is up 312%. It started the year 1.5, ended it at 6.18, giving it a gain of 312%. But I want to submit this to all of you. What's interesting about as compared to the other stocks that we talked about is made an IPO in the middle of the year. So there were some of you that bought it at IPO, meaning you were able to get it at 1 peso per share. For those who were able to get it at 1 peso per share, your gain held up until today should have been 518%. So from 1 to 6.18. So please do note also was in the middle of the year. So 6 month gain, no? 6 month gain, it's not actually it's not a full year gain. Kasi it's not, so is effectively, no, kung 6 months lang yon, it would have been relatively higher given the time, given the measure of time where it listed to where we are right now. So for those who bought at IPO, 1 to 6.18, up 580%. For those who bought at the closing of the first day at 1.5 pesos per share, you're up 312%. This is its numbers. Just one thing lang that I just like to submit to all of you. Aside from it has no dividends, ROE is high. Debt to equity though is high, and valuations wise from a PE perspective, it's relatively at the higher end. Quick ratio is at 0.85. So the way you'd look at Mary Mart right now is PE is high, ROE is high, debt to equity is also relatively high, meaning they have relatively larger amounts of, at least they're more leverage, but it's translating into a higher ROE. But at what price would you want to come in to commensurate that, hey, it's relatively cheaper? At 1,507, it's at medyo the higher end already. Anyways, of a valuation standpoint. But looking at the charts, this is where it is. It's still in an uptrend from at least, the October movement. One thing I'd like to submit though, at some point in November, the November push up from 3.4 all the way to 6 got broken already, and now it's starting to consolidate. We have a more detailed video on that, on its uptrend, its push up, and its sideways movement in the past few videos. But what I just want to say is the main upward trending line for Mary Mart is still currently intact. The November push up trend line got broken. That's why we're seeing it consolidate right now. 5.7 support, 6.4 resistance. So just two observations that I'd like to note. Number one is from an earnings perspective. Out of the 10 stocks that I've mentioned, based on the data that we have right now and the disclosures that they've given, only four actually made money, six out of the 10 lost money. But this shows you also the disconnect, no? Na possible that hindi kumita yung stock, but as long as people are buying it, the stock could go up. Please do note that the stock market is a forward-looking market. Please do note that when people buy, regardless if it's not making money, more buyers bring the prices up, and that's what we saw for 6 out of the 10 stocks. And lastly, for those who are into dividends, out of the 10, only one gave dividends, and that's why it's the reason why I'm saying that is you have to systemize your approach. What do I mean by that? If you're coming in to trade, you're coming in for capital appreciation, then you should realize that a lot of the stocks that are giving out large capital appreciation, some of them, yung trade-off nun, wala masyadong dividends. And for those who are into dividends, also, you will see it. It's already very, very specific here. Even the dividend, even the one company that gave out dividends for this year, yung yield niya is not so high. That's why the battle plan, the gameplay for people who are in it for trading, for long-term investing, for growth investing, for quick trading, for position trading, is so different from the ones who are in it for dividends. So I'd like to submit those who are in it for dividends are basically, they're buying it because of the higher yield, bonus na lang yung capital appreciation. Those naman who are buying it for capital appreciation, they're in it for the capital appreciation, bonus na lang yung dividends. So there, just to reiterate, now we talked about 10 stocks that moved up this year, but no matter how much we talk about it, please do not buy, sell, hold, or avoid a stock just because it's discussed here in YouTube. please take the time to study because it's your money, it's your responsibility. What will give you the money in the market is you come in with conviction. And if you notice it here, if there's one thing that's prevailing in everything that I talked about, from MM to ACEN to DITO to PHA to whatever stock that's there, regardless if you're buying it because of what it could be in the future or because of you looking at the technicals, it's conviction that will bring you further. You will not make money consistently, repeatedly over a long period of time if you're relying on your friend, if you're relying on what you hear on TV, on YouTube. It has to be you who need to do your own due diligence, because as you do your own due diligence, it allows you to become bigger, better, stronger, and it allows you to trade it with confidence. And that's the whole heart of this particular channel. And by the way, I forgot to mention this. Links are in the description for those who want to join us for our very first technical analysis course, small group session, um, with the new normal type of twist, no limited seats, one person per table. We're doing it next year, January 2021, end of January. Uh, it will be a small group session, one person per table. So I think there's just a few slots left. For those who want to join us, link is in the description below. And all of the other details about me, from those who want to send me DMs via Instagram and Patreon, link is in the description. For those who want to also uh, learn about technicals and fundamentals from the books that I've written, link is in the description below. Everything else you want to trade US stocks, link is in the description below as well. So there. Um, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put it in the comment section. This is one out of three videos that will come out today. This is at 5:30. We have our normal video coming out later on at 8 p.m. where I'm interviewing the CEO of AREIT, Carol Mills. For those of you who love AREIT, who love dividends, who love REITs, I believe that's a very insightful interview that you guys should listen to. It's a two-part interview which is happening today and tomorrow. Then followed after that, it's ano ba ngayon? Tuesday. Today's Tuesday, no? Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all throughout the weekend, we have Bo Sanchez, Rex Mendoza, Salvi Depito coming into the channel and joining us as well. And yun. Um, I just have one request for those who are joining us for the first time and you get value from this video. I have a goal, pero feeling ko hindi aabot na kasi ilang araw na lang. My goal was to hit 200,000 subscribers by the end of 2020. But I think we're just 2-3 days away before that, uh, before we hit that date. No? So malamang sa malamang baka hindi aabot yun. But if you get value from this and you believe in what I believe, appreciate it if you could like this video for the YouTube algorithm. But above and beyond that, appreciate it if you could press the subscribe button, hit the bell so you get updated every time I come up with new content about the stock market. And if you believe this is making a difference in your life, share it to your friends, spread the joy of financial literacy. I have a second channel, Stock Investing Made Easy. That's where a lot of the technical analysis, deep dives are done. So you can check that out also. So that's it. Thank you so much, everyone. Marvin Germo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. And I'll just end it with this. Happy New Year, guys. For 2020 is a springboard for even bigger and better things for 2021. Your greatest days are still in front of you. So that's it for now. Marvin Germo. See you all again soon, and God bless you all.